What's up, guys? Welcome to Vintage Genetics, where it is all about classic bodybuilding, of course. And today's a chest and triceps workout, and I'm going to show you a little more sets than usual. Also a couple of sets going to the max, so the last set, so you can actually see the form, the weight, and the intensity used throughout the workouts. This is just a workout that I do quite often, like this, with the same intensity, with the same weights and everything, with the same kind of drop sets, pause reps, stuff like that. So that's why I'm showing you a little more sets right here, because sometimes it's hard to imagine what, if you watch a video like this, what the person is actually doing throughout the entire workout. So that's why I'm showing you. But anyway, we are starting out with the bench press, and you just watched a couple of warm-up sets. Those are simply sets to really warm up the joints, to warm up the chest, especially the shoulders, but I'm not feeling anything at all. I'm just feeling the chest, no pain at all. So this was the first set, and right here is the second set, or working set. And what you can see me do is bring the bar all the way down to my chest, and the width is a little wider than most people like, but I really like the stretch at the bottom, which is why I grabbed the bar pretty wide. Arnold used to do this as well. Quite a lot of classic bodybuilders used to do this. It really emphasizes the stretch, because the contraction part of this movement isn't really as strong as an isolation movement, for example, but the stretch, however, is, and you should maximize that capability. And right here I am mentally preparing for my heaviest, well, not my heaviest, but my heaviest 10 rep set. At least a weight of which I want to do 10 reps with. It used to be 140 kilos, but now it's 150, and I'm very pleased about that, of course. Strength gains is what it's all about sometimes. And that's the strength gain I gained from the lean bulk I did the last couple of months. And right now I'm actually slowly cutting. Actually still in a maintenance state, but slowly cutting towards a leaner physique. Because I'm doing a competition this October, and I will give more information about that for sure. But this is the heaviest set, and I typically don't really like to go very low volume sets on the bench press because of the injury sensitivity of this exercise. But this was still a weight I could easily handle a couple of controlled reps with. Slow negatives will always protect you from injuries if you go too fast. And the momentum that happens with a fast rep might cause an injury, but right after the heavy set, after a little bit of rest, we are doing a drop set. And how we're doing this is by paused reps. And of course, my dad was also there during the workout, and he's pretty much doing the same thing. Wide grip drop sets, pause reps after the heaviest set, basically doing as many reps as you possibly can until pretty much failure, and this way your chest will be filled up with blood. And that blood-filled chest will actually cause you to stretch out the chest fibers even more when you stretch out the chest on an exercise like this one, the Incline Chest Press. And I really like this hammer strength version because, as you can see, the handles converge when you go up, so you can squeeze your chest. When you compare it to a regular incline bench press, you cannot really squeeze your chest. It's all about the stretch. Of course, this is a very good method to build mass, because you can go heavier on that in terms of load on the actual chest. But when you're doing this one, you can focus on the stretch and the contraction for a better pump. And you can actually go pretty heavy here too, but you know, the way the machine is angled simply makes it easier to push this kind of weight compared to the incline bench press. So you cannot really compare those numbers right here. But I'm pretty much going to failure on the second set right here. Went pretty heavy. Well, the first set was a warming up of the two blue plates on each side. But that's, you know, I like to do at least one warming up set for every exercise, and then 3, maybe 4 working sets. And this is a true working set right here. This is, I think, the heaviest set that I did. I can only do a couple of reps with this. I was really focusing on getting that maximum stretch right there and making sure that I contract the chest at the top. What you don't want to do, and this is what I see a lot of guys do, is lock out the elbows at the very top. The moment that you feel peak contraction in the chest, you go down immediately to cause time under tension to happen systematically, and it won't fall away when you lock out your elbows, because it would if you keep pausing it at the very top and locking them out. So right here I'm doing a drop set. Actually, I should have lowered the weight a little more because I was only able to do like 3 or 4 good reps after this drop set, but you know, the drop set was still being done, so that's an extra couple of reps. And then it is time for some Pec Deck flies, and this is actually quite heavy already on set number 2, even though it is only set number 2, but I find it important that the weight that you do must feel heavy at all times when doing flies. How do you do this? With mind-muscle connection. So you really have to put your mind into your chest and squeeze as hard as you can and feel how you can stretch your chest as good as you can, because you can go backwards with the handles and stretch your chest regularly, but you can just go half an inch further and feel the chest fibers stretch out even more to make the difference, to get that maximum effect of hypertrophy. And right here I'm really going heavy for my feeling, because I would be able to do this quite easily if I just did this mindless, if I just wanted to push the weight without thinking about the muscle. But that's where a lot of people make the mistake. Don't look at the weight, especially when doing isolation exercises. It is more about the form, the time under tension, the feeling that your muscles themselves actually have, than it is about the actually weight that you're doing. So keep in mind, when doing flies, if you want to feel it in your chest, try a lower weight but a full, complete range of motion. Alright, it is time for the dumbbell pullover, and I'm doing it like this over the bench instead of a regular way of just laying on the bench. I'm doing it like this for a better stretch in the chest. I can go even further, but I'm trying to keep my pelvis low so that the stretch is even greater on my rib cage. And what you want to do is the moment that you stretch out your arms to the bottom like that, you want to breathe in so that your rib cage is maximally stretched and your chest will puff up to greatness. But what you should focus on here is contracting the chest at all times, so when you go down you can actually feel that enormous stretch, especially in the upper chest. So this exercise works the upper chest, but at the same time also trains the transverse abdominis, which causes you to be able to do a vacuum like all the classic bodybuilders did. And then it is time for triceps, skull crushers, and a close grip press. I like the superset a lot. It's actually from Ronnie Coleman. I watched his video, of years ago doing triceps, and he did just this. I actually did the French press and the close grip press, but I like combining two of these exercises in one because they hit the same muscle, the triceps, but they hit it in a slightly different angle. And bodybuilding is all about hitting muscles from different angles. So this is the first set, starting out pretty light, just getting a feel for it, especially when you feel any sort of pain in your elbows or anything like that. You really want to warm up with a low weight on the skull crushers, because any elbow sensitive exercise will be, the pain will be exaggerated as years go on. So you want to prevent it in the first place by doing a slow negative like this. That way you don't actually have to go that heavy, because I used to really find it difficult to get into the triceps in terms of a mind-muscle connection during a French press, during a skull crusher, or any compound exercise with for the triceps. So what I changed is going slow on the negative and then explode your way upwards. This way the time under tension is increased, because guys, if you don't feel tension, if you don't feel lactic acid buildup, if you don't feel the muscle that you're working, the tension on the muscle is probably not enough. Even though you might be doing a heavy weight, other muscles might still be working in combination with the muscle you're trying to work, and it will take a lot of the load off, and you will just feel tired afterwards because multiple muscles have worked, but not specifically the muscle that you wanted to work. So if you really want to feel those triceps burn, make sure to go slow on the negative. And now we are hitting the isolation exercises. This is a tricep bar pushdown, but I want you to look closely to the range of motion and my form. What you see right here is I'm not stopping at 90 degrees. I'm actually going up further. And I've been doing this for a couple of weeks now, and I have to say that the mind-muscle connection and the lactic acid buildup, simply the pump also, has increased by doing this extended range of motion. Why? Because the higher you go, the more the triceps are actually stretching out, and the less weight you have to do in order to hit all the tricep fibers that you want. So when you have a longer range of motion, the time under tension is increased, the muscle simply responds by growing more. It is all about time under tension in bodybuilding, all about the mind-muscle connection and using the muscle to its full capability. Because for me, for example, the long head of the triceps is a weak point. When I'm going upwards more than 90 degrees, I can feel the stretch go up all the way into my long head as well, which is what I need to improve, because triceps can never be big enough. And this is some rope pushdowns. This is my last set, and I'm about to do some forced cheat reps, controlled cheat reps with a spotter who pushes me to the maximum, really pumping up the triceps and filling them up with one last batch of fresh blood for that final satisfying pump. Guys, I want to thank you for your support, for everybody who even visits the website. I really appreciate it. It's awesome to see people walk around in their vintage genetics apparel. But right now there is a June sale going on, and you can use the code SUNNY20 for 20% off, a 20% discount on not only the clothing but also the workout and nutrition plans. There are t-shirts, tank tops, stringers, hoodies, sleeveless hoodies, and there will be a lot more. So if you want, check it out. And I want to thank you guys for watching this video, and don't forget to stay golden.